So we've been going on about keeping stuff clean, but check this out. This was clear yesterday. And look at all the bits that gather together and collect. Now that was hoovered yesterday. You can see the substrate isn't that clean. This tank probably wasn't, well, it was only cleaned last Thursday. But look at all that lot. Now that's 1 day's worth. So imagine all the plants in there, you can't see what's going on, you can't find it, it's all hiding about. That builds up quite quick. So I thought I'd treat myself and got one of these. Now I didn't really want one because I thought I've got sand, it's not going to work. I've looked at many other options to try and hoover that sand without having to siphon the water out of the tank. That's the thing. I'll clean it twice a week. I'll siphon the water out. We'll remove all the debris with that water that gets removed, then we'll fill it back up. But in between water changes, you can't clean the gravel in any way without taking water out, putting water back in. This does a pretty good job, I have to say, of a quick vacuum round without removing any water. So what you get, it's quite a big hefty thing. It's quite well made. I don't understand how the pump is working. There's this little bit on the end which is hollow, and that's magnetic, and it spins around on that little device there, and the water shoots down that hole. Collects in here. When that's full, you empty that out. I do it every time I use it. It just unclips and you tip it away. So really good. The whole thing goes underwater. There's a button on the end there to switch it on and off, and you get these 2 little tubes that come with it. They clip on the end. I've been using it with just one on, but I think this kind of end part might help the sand part. But I've worked out if you just hold it the right level above the sand, it sucks the debris up perfectly fine. 2 minutes, the sand's pretty clean. Some of it goes up and gets caught in this mesh. I don't know if that will damage this in the end, but it makes a bit of a grinding noise as the sand goes through. But if you get it right and you get the knack, you can do it without sucking the sand up. Now it's battery powered, so obviously you're going to have to replace batteries on this one. I know there's another one out there that's plugs in, but I think the wire and all that stuff's a bit faffy. So I thought I'd give this one a try. This is not sponsored, I just thought I'd buy this myself. I think it's quite expensive, but if it keeps these guys healthy, possibly worth it. So every day, quick 2-minute hoover of that sand. I'll show you how quickly it does its job. Some people said the suction's not great, but I think that's perfect for sand, because if the suction was greater, there'd be sand everywhere. You can pretty much pick up the bits you want and leave most of the sand behind with this if you're careful. So we'll give it a go in a minute and show you how that works. But I think I'd highly recommend it because this stuff gets removed every day now, rather than sitting there and building up for, what will it be, between water changes, 3 or 4 days sometimes. So we'll get it in the tank and we'll show you how it works. Right, so that's in the tank. I'll turn it on. It's pretty quiet. And you can see that's pretty gentle. With that comby tooth part on, it gets a bit of sand. It doesn't get much sand, but it will remove that debris pretty well. So you can quickly whiz around. If you want it to be a bit more hoovery, all you can do is pull that end off and put it back in. See there, sometimes the debris doesn't go up, but it does eventually. It gets it. But I think if it was more powerful, we'd have no sand left. So switch that off. I'll take that end out. Now it's a shame they don't do the shorter nozzle with those teeth on, because look, that works much better with the shorter. I don't know why, because physics suggests it should be the same. I don't know why, that's my brain. But yeah, look, they are very simple, very quick. I've taken no water out of the tank. I can have a quick hoover of most of the garbage every day. It takes a couple of minutes. Empty the cartridge into the bin, job done. and hopefully we have a happier and healthier tank, because we haven't got old bits of food, fish waste and goodness knows what else hanging around. Now when the plants come back, I don't know how good it will be at getting in between the plants, but we'll have to see. But you can see there, that's pretty clean now. And I've collected a little bit of sand, and as I say, I don't know if the sand would eventually damage that motor, but there is no way of using this without collecting a bit of sand. But there you have, 1 minute later, clean sand. So I would recommend that. I think it's pricey, and obviously you're gonna have to change batteries every now and again, but I think that's a pretty handy addition to your daily maintenance. You can now clean your gravel every day without having to put any water back in. So you can see there all the bits it's picked up, and we'll just empty that straight back out. A little bit of sand gone, but not too much. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. I didn't want to get it because I thought it won't work with sand, but it seems to do a pretty good job. We're clean till tomorrow anyway. So yeah, not bad.